Welcome to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast, where we dive deep and answer the ultimate question: how did you hack into tech sales? Each week, we bring you inspiring stories, proven strategies, and insider tips from top performers who've cracked the code to break into tech sales and thrive. Whether you're just starting out, making a career pivot, or ready to level up, this is your go-to space for actionable advice and real-world success stories. Let's crack the code together, because hacking into tech sales isn't just a dream, it's your next move. Now with your host, the founder of Tech Sales Funnels and the tech sales hacker himself, Dayvisson DaSilva.
Welcome everyone to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast. This is Dayvisson DaSilva, the tech sales hacker, your host. And today I'm super excited to bring a new friend, someone that I actually met virtually so far via LinkedIn. Shout out to Mark, common friend now. And Lauryn Downey. Lauryn Downey, she is amazing, and I'm super excited to have her on the podcast and hear a little bit more about her story and then how she's handling the whole tech sales changes currently. And let's bring her to stage right now. Welcome, Lauryn. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Davidson. So nice to finally meet and officially face-to-face virtually. So we'll take that.
I know we have been talking like at least, I don't know how many messages on LinkedIn, and
Yeah, a few weeks now.
yeah, and we finally got to see each other and chat before this call. So I'm super excited to bring you to the podcast today.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be here. You got some really good stuff cooking. Things in the tech industry is a hot topic for everyone, whether they want to go more on the technical side, the more product management side, the more customer facing side. It's definitely an evolving, pertinent industry that people are excited to join. So any way I can help, share my story, shed light on anything that's helpful, always down to help.
Awesome. I like the way you're taking already the. So I usually don't have a specific agenda or questions. I honestly like just kind of follow the flow. But I would like today to start like, well, let's take 1 second, 1 minute, maybe forget about tech sales at all, and who is Lauryn? Like at a high level,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
As a high level, I am an East Coast native, so I am from Philadelphia, but I now call Texas home for the last 8 years. Not big into sports, so I wasn't going to say go Eagles or go Cowboys on either side. I am a mom to a sweet 6-year-old sunshine who is my world, and my world revolves around him mostly. So I love doing anything that has to do with PTA, baseball, sports mom, that kind of fun stuff is what takes most of my life. And I love doing little creative stuff like working on tools like Canva and different AI tools, which kind of helps now in my role currently. So yeah, that's kind of me. I love to cook. I love to be outside on the Blackstone. Love to do a little fishing. So yeah.
That's awesome. I'm not from Texas either, but I do call Texas home right now. And yeah, we gotta love the Texas, right? The weather and the craziness that happen here. Yeah.
Sunshine and barbecue. That's what I said drove me down to Texas. Give me warmer weather and some barbecue and some Southern hospitality. Prior to this, I lived in New York, so I'm sure you can imagine it's quite the difference.
Big change.
New York to Texas, yeah, for sure.
Big change. Thank you so much for the introduction, and let's dive right in. Like, you have had an amazing career in tech sales. I was looking at your LinkedIn earlier, since 2000. I'm gonna have to cheat here for a second. 2013, so over 10 years, over a decade, and you have been in big brands, big organizations. We'll dive into that. But for now, how and why did you start in tech sales?
Yeah, that is such a great question and so funny because people always love to ask me, so did you go to college for this? Is this what you studied in school? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Didn't study anything of the sorts for tech in college. Originally, I was kind of more like a sociology, public policy major. I thought I was going to go to law school.
Oh.
So your girl likes to argue and win, okay? You'll see how that works in sales later. So I was originally supposed to be a teacher. out
Oh,
here in Dallas. So I picked here as my original placement, low cost of living, highest paid teachers. Moved out here and met a guy who was driving a really nice Lamborghini.
okay.
And I'm like at Starbucks, like, so what is it that you do
You
for a
do.
living?
That's
And
funny.
he essentially was a VP at one of the big tech companies that are out here. I'm not going to name who. And he was a VP,
Okay.
at a very big tech company. And through some just, short conversation, he's asking like, well, you're fresh out of college. Well, what do you want to do?
Mm,
I'm like, I have no idea. I came here to be a teacher. Not really sure if that's my calling or not. So I'm definitely I'm open. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And he's like, look, you seem very articulate. You seem very confident. He's like, I think if you're interested in making the kind of money that I'm making, he said you should go into tech sales. So I was
mm,
like, oh, okay, because there's a lot of different sales out there, but why tech sales? He said tech
yeah.
sales is where you want to be. It's
Mm,
one of those industries that are going to evolve forever, constantly going to be evolving. So you'll have to grow and evolve with it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to keep you on your toes. And it's going to be a place that you can continue to learn. And to be honest, it was a space at this time 10 years ago that also needed a little more diversity, right? So being a woman,
mm,
being a person of color, I kind of matched a really good profile to start including more diversity and inclusion into the industry as a whole. So through his advice, he helped me try to learn a little bit about hardware, learn a little bit about software, learn about what the cloud is, much
yeah.
beyond what iPhone, Apple cloud storage consists of, right? And gave me some books to read. It coached me through my first interview process, right? Um, so my first interview process was at a company where they sold SaaS. So it was
Okay.
kind of like a CRM tool for small mom and pop shops. And the shorter sales cycle, when you understand what you're selling and how to sell it and where their market is, you can find the ways to support what you kind of might need to demonstrate
Mm,
during the interview. So for a SaaS sales with shorter sales cycle, the best sales tool that or methodology they were using was called the what is it? Not the Sandler training, the Challenger sale. So I read the Challenger sale almost 10 years ago. And I remember referencing that book in my interview, and my hiring manager
really?
practically jumped out of his chair. He said, the Challenger sale. He said, that is perfect. That is exactly what I've been training these teams on today. So it was a perfect fit. And through
Nice.
having a mentorship, kind of doing your research and knowing where you want to go, it kind of was able to come full circle from there. And I really had to work my way up, network, get some more enablement under my belt before I was really to tackle what I would consider like my big girl tech jobs.
Mm,
So yeah.
wow. So Lamborghini, huh?
Yes, I was like, well, I want a car like that.
Nice. So he was right. Tech sales is a place to be. I mean, if you're not in tech sales, to make the kind of money that you can make, you have to. What else can you have to be? Maybe like a really successful doctor or an attorney, right?
Exactly.
That you thought
Yeah.
about. But amazing career, ups and downs, of course, like anything else.
Of course. Yeah,
But
because
high risk, high
people,
return, right?
exactly. People think, they can get into sales and just automatically start making a whole lot of money. And it's like, no, that's kind of not always how that works. If you are, you're part of the lucky few. My first job, I was making probably less than 50K without
Mm-hmm.
commission, right? A year. And it was a grind. So sometimes to break into it, you got to be willing to take those grinding jobs where you're
Mm,
hitting 60, 70, maybe even $100 a day. You need 2 hour talk time to get on the phone and kind of, pound the streets, getting those opportunities. But we all have to start somewhere, right? Um,
yes.
and I was only there for 6 months, and I remember crying. My
Yeah.
first sales job. I mean, I probably was a good 30 days in. I had zero sales. No
Yeah.
one wanted to buy. And I remember my leadership after working with me, coaching me, was like, maybe sales just is not your calling. And
Mm,
I probably, like a light bulb probably went off after that conversation, and things
yeah.
changed drastically after that.
Nice. Wow. So yeah. I love your story because I like the way you painted this the whole picture, because sometimes people are like, well, in order to start a marathon, you have to give the first steps, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and everybody needs to grind. Everybody needs to learn.
Yep.
Nobody, you know. I was about a decade in textiles, and I'm still learning every single day. And that's one of the reasons why I love textiles. You're always learning something new.
Exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
honestly, you're forced to always be learning something new if you want to stay relevant, you want to be able to provide value, and you have to know what problems you're trying to solve because that's the only way you're really going to sell things.
Yes. Thank you for that intro. Now, when did you feel like you were out of the grind, and then you finally started like, it was that like a different role, different company, when you
Yeah.
finally started like tasting oh, there's money here. I can
Oh,
say
yeah,
from
yeah.
my,
That's when I started my big girl tech jobs, is what I would call
yes.
those.
Let's
And
talk
that's
talk
when,
about that.
yeah, getting into HPE was definitely the genesis of
HP.
the bulk of my career to date. So that largely came through one, networking, right? So I
Okay.
knew two people there that were working. I told them I saw a role I was interested in, and they were like, okay, I think you can do it. Let me help you.
Mm,
The thing that helped me most really through the interview process was, showing initiative, being a self starter, and like, showing that self determination. Because I kid you not, my first job at HP was being a storage specialist, right? So, not like a
mm,
generalist, not an entry level role, a storage specialist. And
wow.
they literally asked me in like my first interview, so Lauren, what is a data center? I was like,
It's
place with data.
a VPN.
Oh.
What is that?
Yeah, like just saying stuff. And so, but they saw that I wasn't really, I didn't have the background in tech. But what they
Mm-hmm.
were confident in was my ability to learn the tech, articulate the tech, and do it confidently and eloquently in a way in which I could solve customer problems. And so what I had to do was lean on the fact that I can learn the tech, but
Yep.
you can't always get people to learn sales,
Mm,
right? So I was like, I come naturally sales enabled. I had the self determination now to learn the tech. So each interview that got me to my next one was showing them what I learned since the last time we spoke.
mm,
I'm like, okay, you asked me what a data center was. This is what I found out, and here's how they're managed, and here's why, and here's kind of where we are now out of the bare metal kind of thing and what virtualization kind of looks like now. And this is kind of
mm,
where we get into, you know, cloud workloads and AI and stuff like that, right? It was able to show, like, hey, I am learning these things. And I think that won them over
ooh.
through and through.
Yeah, 100%. And I think if you can show that ability that you can learn, and then you're hungry to learn more, that's
Yeah.
it. Like,
And do it on your own. These weren't things that they told me to go out and learn and come be ready to discuss in our next interview. I absolutely took that initiative and I'm like, hey, like
mm,
here's the part of the stack where storage resides. Here's why storage is important. Here's how it's connected. Mind you, no technical background whatsoever. But it was enough to gain the trust that I was going to take the opportunity to work for HP very seriously,
mm,
and I did. I was the youngest person on my team of storage
really?
specialists. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm working with guys that are, 10, 20 years, right, in the
Mm,
game. They know this stuff in and out. So I really had the opportunity to learn from some experts, right? So when you do get your foot in the door, it's critical to not lose the momentum. Like you have
mm,
to keep learning. You have to stay on top of it, right? Because you're probably going to have a different ramp than people who've already been doing this for years. So one of my favorite thing to do was I, take some of the smartest people on my team, like, hey, are you free to grab lunch this week? I just have some stuff I want to pick your brain about, right? I'd
mm,
even get a notebook and be like, can you help me understand the networking piece here? Where are the chips? You like, right? And stuff like that. So find the spaces where you can ask all those dumb questions and be uncomfortable, right? But you still have to learn those things. And I also, loved taking people out for coffee. So one of the things I did, I met with one of the engineers and I started a weekly cadence with him
oh,
where
nice.
we could whiteboard, like follow the wire 101 foundations, like the
Mm,
IoT into the server, right, through the networking down to storage, all of that, software in between. And I got to just spend an hour a week with this guy where I could ask him like, well, well, how is that resourced? Or well, what are containers versus virtualization? And well,
Mm,
what does that pool mean, right? So you could ask all those things that you may not feel comfortable in a greater sense of enablement. But the quicker you are comfortable with humility, the more comfortable the whole process becomes.
I love it. And engineers in general, like the people who know, they're very open to teach. They love teaching
They love
what
it.
they
They
know,
love
right?
it.
So
Yes.
just ask, and don't be afraid of finding the resources, right, that you need.
Exactly, exactly. That was another big thing that worked. Outside of having that self determination to learn things on my own, it was also just leaning on all the resources. When you are at some of these bigger tech companies that I've worked at, like HPE, NetApp, now IBM, right? There's tons of resources out there that are right at our fingertips that we can always lean on to help get opportunities and progress the opportunities, right? Selling, I would say, is a team sport. Like you have to do it
Mm.
together. You've got to do it together.
Yeah, everybody's learning. Everybody's learning,
Everybody's learning.
especially the technology changed so fast. It's in AI and all this new stuff.
Hmm.
Everybody's learning every day. So wow, so you become big girl in tech, HP, and then you mentioned NetApp, IBM, and we can talk about how you got into those organizations, which I would guess that you networked your way. You
A
did
little,
not apply
yeah.
blindly. How
Mhm.
was it quickly? Like, how did you get into NetApp and how did you get into IBM?
Yeah, so NetApp was interesting because a recruiter had reached out to me.
Okay, okay.
So that actually, I had no internal network at NetApp. I just
Nice.
think that what they were looking for was very specific, and I think that I just worked really hard to meet what they were specifically looking for.
Um, is
So
that
that kind of
LinkedIn?
worked
Via
out.
LinkedIn?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
all
A
right.
recruiter had reached out to me via LinkedIn. Had a nice phone screening conversation. Probably did like two, interviews with the team, and was good to
Yeah.
go. And that was truly a different experience, because I went from working. So I started early in my sales career, mom and pop, SMB, really small places. HPE, I started working more in the enterprise to mid market space, so like
Mm.
household names that you remember. The NetApp was a company where I worked on one global account, probably the second largest account in all of NetApp
Wow.
at the time. Maybe the might have been the first, but it definitely was top five of the largest accounts at NetApp at the time. And so that,
Mm,
kind of introduced me to, strategic relationships, contract negotiation, a lot of different ways of conducting sales and business that you may not do in like a mid-market SMB kind of
mm-hmm.
space. And then when it came to IBM, definitely networking, right? So, well, I'll say
Mm.
this. So my customer was IBM Cloud while I
Oh,
was
oh,
at
really? So I
NetApp.
worked at IBM Cloud. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So I know, obviously, I knew tons of people at IBM already, when things started changing within NetApp. And they were like, oh, since you've worked on, IBM Cloud, you sold to us, like, we know you'll know it better than a lot of the people right now. So we need people that can
Mm.
articulate what our cloud is. So it was like a no brainer to pretty much get me hired and bring me over to IBM. So,
Wow, amazing. You see how things connect, right?
yeah.
When you put in the work and you. So a lot of people listening to this right now, they're like, yeah, yeah, Laurie, easy for you. You're a go-getter. You know, you're a hustler.
Right. Self
But
determination is a muscle, and we
there you
all
go.
have it. We
There you
all
go.
have
There you
it.
go. Advice for those people, the people who are
Yes.
listening, like they're questioning, like, I can't even do what Lauren is doing.
Yes,
Like
they
I see the
definitely can.
Lamborghini passing by. How can I get that? Man?
I'm still working on my Lamborghini
Yes,
though. That's still in
yes,
the
yes.
works.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm not VP status. Yeah, there's different perks when you climb the corporate ladder in sales and stock and RSUs and
Yeah.
bonuses. You get it,
And you put in
right?
the work, you pay the price. So it's coming. I
Yes,
know.
we're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, it's coming. And what's the kind of advice you give to people who are questioning or if they even try, you know?
If they should even do it, if they should even try, well,
Yeah.
I definitely say start with your research, right? Understand what is most attractive in the tech industry to you, right? Are you kind of more of a like a PC kind of person, or are you more of like an AI person, right? Like
Mm,
what in the tech industry excites you? Because you're not going to have any willpower to jump into anything that doesn't excite you. So find something in tech that excites you and do more research about it. What roles support it? What companies do it best, right? Understand what the roles are and what they require. And then find your transferable skills. There's tons and tons of transferable skills out there, whether you've, been a teacher and you've
mm,
conducted group sessions and conducted programs and plans, or maybe you work in retail and you're able to have customer facing conversations in the art of persuasion and convincing, right? There's
mhm.
tons of jobs, everyday jobs that we have out here that have transferable skills that can make you great for tech sales. So find those transferable skills and lean into those, right? But you do have to start doing your research, or else you kind of might be misfiring in places where it might not have the best alignment for you. And sending shots where you're misaligned is where you probably are going to start feeling a little discouraged and a little less hopeful, right? So as long as you do your research, align your skills with what the jobs entail, with what you're passionate about within tech, and just go for it. Reach out to complete strangers. I have
Mm,
people reach out to me on LinkedIn, spark a conversation. I'm interested in what you do. I want to learn more. How can I replicate it? And people are always willing to help. Like my mentor, I love her beyond words. One of her biggest mantras is she's a multiplier, right? So
mm.
she's one of those people leaders that are happy to spend time with people who need advice and insight, because she wants to multiply her wisdom and her knowledge onto people and
Love it.
things and processes that deliver value, right? So, and I'm the same way. So you'll find people on LinkedIn or the random guy at the Starbucks with a Lamborghini. Be curious, ask questions, do research, and understand, like, again, self-determination is a muscle, and you have to build it like you would build any other muscle.
Yes, love it. And I know you're a multiplier because as soon as I reach out to you, you're like, absolutely. I would love to record something and give back and help, and you're
For
here today.
sure.
So it's you the proof of being a multiplier as well. Um, I'm thinking more out now about the because you're not a regular tech seller. You were a top tech seller here, and there's a lot of tech sellers maybe struggling or maybe they're stuck. They're not. Maybe they're still in the first company. Any like career development advice for actual tech sellers who are on the grind like right now?
Yeah, definitely familiarize yourself with some free courses and stuff out there that are around sales. Like HubSpot has some, LinkedIn has some. There's endless people like sales leaders and stuff on LinkedIn you could probably find who may offer free booklets, pamphlets. Just take advantage of any free or low resources out there just to even get started on building your acumen. That's for sure. Definitely do that. Otherwise, I'm sorry, feeling stuck, yeah, definitely
Hmm.
take initiative of the free stuff. Read some books, right? There's definitely really, really helpful books out there, whether it's like self-help, leadership management books, or even just sales specific books, right? The Challenger Sale, Fanatical
Mm,
Prospecting, are like just to name two, right? So just some that are going to build some muscle, that show that you have the interest in bettering yourself. And again, keep your network strong.
mm,
Like be a person that people want to work with. Have a good attitude. Find value where you can. Sometimes in sales, we get stuck on all the things that just don't work and why we're not selling and what the company's not
mm.
doing. You have to focus on what you can control, which is what you know, what you consume. And what you consume is through your mind, what you're reading, what you're eating, what you're thinking, who you're talking to. All of those things a lot of sales is a mindset.
Yeah,
A
like
lot of sales is a mindset. So be careful what you can
100%.
consume, and only consume the things that are aligned with what you want to do.
Yes, 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 yes. So be aware of the things that you are consuming and go after more knowledge. I love that. Just learning new things, right? Just Because sometimes you might be stuck because it's just the lack of knowledge or the lack of understanding of,
Right. Hmm.
right? So just
And
start
everyone says
eating
money,
good
right?
food.
Like we're in sales for money. That could be your why, but understand your true why. Why the need for the money? Is it because
Mm,
you have a beautiful fiance and you want to give her a wedding she's never going to forget? Is it because you have two kids in middle school and they're inching closer to needing to pay for college and you need a college fund for your kids? What is the why that's driving you? And I promise people will find so much motivation to figure it out, whether it's figuring out in their role, in their org, or another company, right?
yes, yes, yes. Um, thank you for that. What's that? What has been? I mean, we're of course we're gonna have to use the word AI here on this call. Otherwise, it would be like, hey, we're not a tech seller, right? We are living on the era of transformation and everything. Any challenges that AI is actually bringing to your career, and on the flip side, opportunities like with
Mm,
AI.
challenges with I think the biggest challenge is the oversaturation that everyone
Mm,
wants to do AI, everyone does AI best, that we're kind of getting lost in the true impact of what AI can do. So I
mm-hmm.
definitely think that's a challenge. Everyone's rolling out their renditions, who's better, who's what, right? I definitely think at a larger scale as a whole, we definitely need a lot more regulation and compliance in regards to AI. But I definitely see a lot of it more as an opportunity than a detriment, especially for
Okay.
sales. I know a lot of salespeople feel like they're training the AIs on how to do our jobs and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, no, actually, these tools are here to make our jobs better. I truly believe that people buy from people, and why the
Yes.
sales profession will be able to withstand through AI, right? I mean, honestly, we're going to need salespeople to sell AI solutions, right? We are the salespeople selling AI today, right? So it's a profession that's going to be around. I think use it to your advantage to organize team calls and meetings, right? And agendas. I think it's been great to modernize some of the documents and forms that I've created in my role, right? I might have created nothing confidential, right? Because we don't ever put company confidential stuff in public AI systems, right? To recreate some more modern images for PowerPoints and things of that nature. Yeah, because I said summarizing calls, summarizing emails. Sometimes I loved it for like prospecting plans. Like, here are the solutions I want to focus on. Here are the people I want to focus. Can you help me create a targeted message about what they care about and questions to ask to uncover that information? Boom. You now have your
Game
prospecting plan for the
changer.
week.
Yeah, game changer. Wow.
Yeah. So things like
Interesting.
that.
I just remember when I first started in tech sales, I had to learn at IBM Cloud in Portuguese and Spanish and English in three languages. So I was like learning the language of technology in three languages.
Oh my
And
goodness.
maybe AI could be very helpful at that time.
Yeah,
Not
maybe.
of the translation language itself, but documents, emails, and different things. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
It does.
totally.
Sometimes if I catch it, like sometimes I get to an email thread and it's been a while, I'll drop a thread in the chat and be like, can you summarize what's going on? And they're like, okay, well, this person has to do that. This person has to do this person will struggle with that. Here's the action plan. No action items for you. Okay, great. You just saved me 20 minutes of reading through this
Nice,
thread
nice,
to
nice.
update me on where everyone stands and that I have nothing outstanding. Okay, great. Wonderful.
Perfect. Perfect. So that's amazing. Benefits right there. The so there's a huge demand of sellers to sell all this technology.
Mhm.
Future of tech sales though, like in 10 years from now, 5 years, 10 years, it's too far. Maybe 5 years. How do you
Yeah.
see yourself? In all the tech sales community, like in 5 years, like what's any future prediction, anything like that?
Future prediction for tech sellers, the biggest one's obviously going to be no AI. It doesn't matter what you're selling, there's going to be some type of AI infused to it, connected to it, hosted on it, backing it up, whatever the case is. Whether it's software, hardware, you're going to need to learn the AI story and your role in it. That's going to be necessary no matter what. Even me working, in our storage business unit now, people are like storage, hardware, AI. Yes,
Mm,
yes, we are. These are the hardware needed to get the kind of response times that they need to be able to house and store big data and AI and machine learning data types, right? So it's important, and you got to understand where that fits. I'd also say, and also to leverage the AI tools too. Companies are already rolling these things out. Like IBM's very big on using Watson for, sales processes and tools and finding you pointed people to reach out to. Use it. The companies are going to want people that are the early and the best adopters of these tools now, because these tools are
mhm.
going to be standardized within the next 5 years, if they're not already becoming standardized right now. So get very comfortable learning them, using them, and finding ways to maximize the value from them. That's for sure. And then what's another big one, I think, for tech sales? Mm, I definitely think it's probably going to return back to more in person format. I think we've been used to COVID and virtual meetings.
Mm,
I definitely see it's getting heavy on the travel, heavy back on the sales kickoffs, on the business partner workshops, right? So,
mhm.
to those of us that were very comfortable in our shells working from home, get excited to be in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's how some of the greatest deals are made and sold is in person. And sometimes it's over those happy hours where you get those critical details you need to close the business. So be ready to be in person, because
Yeah.
that's going to be more impactful than a virtual call with AI notes.
Perfect. That was a mic drop right there. I told you the time was gonna go fly by,
It did. Sorry, I
and we're
talk a
coming.
lot too.
No, I can listen to you here all day. Amazing devices. At the end of the day, people buy from the people that they know, like, and trust, right?
Exactly.
And AI is not gonna replace that.
Yes.
So hug AI like your best friend. Learn it
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
use it to your benefit. Now the mic drop here, and closing though, like what is what kind of question I can ask you as a closing here? Did I forget to ask any? If there's anything else that you wanted to say that you did not, that you maybe prior to this call you were thinking about it, like if not, it's totally cool.
I don't think so. I don't think
All
so.
right, all right.
You know?
So closing words here then for the tech sales community, um, in general, for um, I would say, how about this? Your best advice, sales advice, and career advice that you ever received. You have been tech sales for almost over 10 years, and that would be awesome to close with that.
Okay, best sales advice while being a seller: ask get comfortable asking the hard questions early. Get all the information you need earlier on in the sales cycle. Even if you're uncomfortable asking about budget, asking about who approves things, ask them early on. This is critical. Um, and I'm sorry, what was the other part?
No, yeah, that was the best sales advice, and now just career in general, career
And just
development
career in
advice.
general,
Yeah.
and network like your life depends on it, like your job depends on it, because in sales network your job does depend on it. From internal network and external network, meeting with your clients and getting the resources and people and processes aligned to support you in your job. So you've got to get the people that are supporting you to like you too. So be likable, drive value, network like your life depends on it, and embrace AI because you want to work smarter, not harder.
Thank you so much, Lori. Everyone, connect with her on LinkedIn. That's the best way I would say to find Lauren,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Connect with Lauren on LinkedIn. The link should be on this podcast here. Whatever if you're listening, if you're watching, connect, follow her. And thank you so much. That was amazing. I knew it was gonna be awesome, and I appreciate all the telling your story, and it's gonna be inspirational for a lot of people out there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Keep up the great work, Daveson.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tech Sales Funnels podcast, where we crack the code and uncover the strategies to break into tech sales. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's ready to hack their way into this exciting career. Remember, hacking into tech sales isn't just a goal, it's a mission. Let's keep hacking, learning, and winning together. Catch you next time.